Watching Trump interact with Western world leaders has been an interesting affair, to say the least, but none of us are really that surprised. We know this is how America behaves behind closed doors. We know that this is how they talk to leaders of global South countries, but to see it in the open, in front of the media against Western leaders, now that is unprecedented. When it was Kier Starmer's turn, of course I was ready with the snacks, but nothing prepared me for what was about to go next. Literally, the hypocrisy of Trump and JD Vance saying that the Brits don't have freedom of speech.
I said what I said, which is that we do have, of course, a special relationship with our friends in the UK and also with some of our European allies, but we also know that there have been infringements on free speech that actually affect not just the British. Of course, what the British do in their own country is up to them, but also affect American technology companies and by extension American citizens. So that is something that we'll talk about today at lunch.
We've had free speech for a very, very long time in the United Kingdom, and it will last for a very, very long time. Well, no, I mean, certainly we wouldn't want to reach across US citizens, and we don't, and that's absolutely right. But in relation to free speech in the UK, I'm very proud of our history there.
I'm not going to sit here and argue that we do have freedom of speech, because we clearly don't. As a pro-Palestinian activist, I can tell you that even I have been arrested for vocalizing my viewpoint that I don't agree with a genocide. So bun freedom of speech. It doesn't exist in the UK, but that's not my point. How is Trump and JD Vance saying that they have freedom of speech in America and the UK don't? Are they blind? It's the same. If you're pro-Palestinian, you're pro-liberation in the USA, you're also curbed on your freedom of speech. Freedom of speech is a fallacy that was created to make us believe that when it really mattered, our voices counted. However, we have seen as anti-genocidal activists that freedom of speech does not exist for us. We have seen journalists, activists, academics jailed, arrested, taken to court over expressing their right to protest and speak out against a genocide. The funniest part of this whole thing is that the next day, a journalist like, so Mr. Trump, Kier Starmer was defending it for the UK and freedom of speech. However, they're arresting people for thought crimes and memes. And we know that that's true. That's what they've been doing. And now they're like, no, we shall be having further words. Things will be going on. We will be talking about this. This is actually hilarious, because what's happening now is all their crap is coming to light.
Prime Minister Starmer claimed repeatedly that his government believes in free speech and is not engaged in censorship. But his country's government arrests people for memes and thought crimes, and even more worrisome is pressuring American companies to censor Americans on his behalf. How can he be a reliable, trustworthy partner when he says things that are demonstrably false on such an important topic?
Well, we actually spoke to him about that yesterday, and we thought they took it very, very much too far. JD was very strong on it. So was I. So was Marco. And we've been speaking to him about it. Marco, would you like to say something about that?
We have concerns, obviously, with the conduct of those, particularly as it impacts Americans. And there's real concern that American speech, which is online, could fall into the hands of British or any country's jurisdiction. And so this is a point the Vice President made at Munich, and I think it's a very compelling one, that what unites us with Europe, as much as anything else, is these shared values, and one of them being free speech. And so if Americans are threatened by it, we're going to need to take action in that regard.
It's actually a very important question.
We spoke about this in detail with the Prime Minister, the Foreign Secretary, and others at lunch yesterday, and I know that Secretary of Commerce Lutnick followed up in private meetings last night. This is really important. We believe Americans have the right to speak their mind, even if we in this room disagree with them. They have the right to speak their mind in the public square, which is often online these days, and we're going to defend that right as it pertains to American companies and American citizens vigorously if we have to. I do think that under the President's leadership, we're going to find common ground with our friends in the UK on this question, but it remains to be seen. The principle that will guide us is we believe in free speech in this country, and we'll fight for it for American citizens.
I'm so used to watching leaders from the global South being treated like utter crap by Western leaders that I cannot get over what I'm witnessing. Literally Western leaders beefing out live on air. So now Trump has had a go at Kier Starmer. He's had a go at Zelensky. Now Zelensky and Kier Starmer are meeting in the UK. It's like beef in the streets. And I want to know what's going on with Netanyahu and what he thinks about all of this and how he's getting involved and what's going to happen, because Zelensky and Netanyahu are both blue and whiters, but now Trump's gone against him, but that one's his mate, and then Kier Starmer's been supporting them all, and they're all supposed to be allies. So what's going to happen?